Why are you acting like you need to get somewhere? Like there's a final destination? You're missing the point of life itself. You see, we as humans have this tendency to think that obtaining more will equal more success, or obtaining more will bring us more fulfillment. This is the furthest from the truth that we have become as a human race. Now, if we look back in time, we can see that we had nothing. And I can even relate that situation right now to being in a different country. I have noticed that there's been places when I'm traveling that have so much less, but have understood the fulfillment of life itself. Now, a wise man would say, you don't need anything to be fulfilled, because everything is simply a bonus of which you are. Everything is an extension of you. The phone that you see, the camera, your body. This world is nothing more than a fragment of your imagination. You could even say that God is dreaming itself and has split itself into billion particles. And you say he because we create labels. The reason you don't think that you've arrived is because you're not actually acting as you have. Because we're busy trying to seek outside of ourselves and look for things that actually detach us and disconnect us from ourselves, we create this false identification and perception of reality, which becomes distorted. And we have this idea that we are different from what is. Now, the outside world, everything that you see is your reflection. And until you actually understand that you are the one who's projecting, you're perceiving a reflection, you will only ever see life as, I have to be in control. When in theory, the only thing that you are in control of is your mind and this identity that we are going to shift. Because if you're continuously living someone, consciously or unconsciously, that you don't want to be, then you will always show up as that version. So the way you're going to go about it is disconnecting from all that you know to this moment. Because what is to say that everything that you know is truth? And what is to say everything that you believe is truth? Well, belief itself doesn't hold a lot of weight over faith. And a belief is something that we ponder before it becomes a fact. Now, transmuting a belief into facts, I call it knowing. So we go from belief to knowing, meaning that we believe something, and in order for us to know it, we must experience it and embody it. So if we're trying to understand that God resides inside of us, that first may become a belief. We may have found some information somewhere in the world that a perception is God is not actually outside of us. Actually, God is the self, just residing in billions of different humans to have this experience we are calling life. But who knows? This is just a belief. And in order to turn it into facts, we must know it. We must have the experience of what comes from within for us to know that God resides inside of us. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a human, or do you see something divine? If you can see that the human vessel is divine and it was created on purpose, then you already know where God resides. So what I want you to do from today is start to live as that version of you who has already arrived. Stop creating this false sense of perception or this false identity that if you look outside of yourself, or if you try to find more because you don't believe you are actually complete, then you will always create this disconnect within yourself. It's about living one moment at a time and living one day at a time, because we're too busy saying that I have a goal, and if I just get to that goal, I'll be happy, or that'll bring me that sense of fulfillment, when the goal is never the objective. It's just a place, our destination that we will arrive at from here, putting the work into the goal itself. The real mystery and the real fulfillment lives in every moment that we show up in order to obtain the goal. Take a moment to just breathe and take in life for what it is, and realize that you have already arrived, my friend. You don't need to look anywhere else for what you are because you're already here. But all you have to do is remember that. And in order to remember that, you have to let go of anything that doesn't serve you, of any attachment of trying to obtain something in order to feel fulfilled. It's not a materialistic thing. It's not something you can obtain when you're in a relationship. It's something that comes from within. If you are looking for something, it's because you are lacking something. And if you are lacking something, it's because you don't remember the thing that you lack, you already are. So before you forget, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.